Jalen Rose decided to speak out today. And when Jalen Rose decided to speak out, he wanted to speak out about Skip Bayless. And in his estimation, he didn't let that known. He spoke about somebody. Exactly. Now you see the situation. You see what Jalen Rose is doing. Jalen Rose decided to come out and speak about all of the people that are putting Dallas Cowboy content and parading as if they're Dallas Cowboy fans. You know, this is what Jalen Rose was talking about. He was like, man, look, it's all of this foolery going on, and all you low fruit hanging people, you guys are grasping at this. You guys are the suckers. So that's basically what he's saying and what he was trying to say with his message. But Jalen, you wrong. And I'm going to tell you where you wrong at, brother. You wrong because this instance right here. Of course, you're going to say and have everybody speculate it's Stephen A. Because that's the first name that comes to mind. Then they start saying, oh, Stephen A., you mad because he banging your wife, your ex-wife. He took your ex-wife from you. He took your wife, which isn't true, but now you brought that back up just by even saying this. What you say it for, Chief? Because the reason why they're going to say you must be talking about Stephen A., because he's the main one that's out here posing. The main one that's out here pushing that narrative and riding a wave. I mean, he's way over the top with it. He even brought one of the Dallas Cowboys on the show regularly to come on the show to actually do that with him. So this is why I mean that you're wrong, because you come out and said the person you really was talking about is Skip Bayless. That makes you look more like a fool. When the person that's on your side, who you call your brother, is doing it. Now they got New Max on the show. But Stephen A., who basically jinxed us by wearing a damn Bucs uniform out there just to go against the Dallas Cowboys. And Molly is wearing a Dak uniform, all because this is what the program is. So this is what I'm saying, Jalen Rose. If you're speaking out about Skip, what you're trying to say, which isn't damn true, because you taking shots at this buffoonery that's happening on your own platform, but you can't talk about that. You can't say that. So now that the pressure was on, you decide to say, oh, Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless has been a Dallas Cowboy fan before there ever was a First Take and anything else. He's always repped the Cowboys. So Skip has always been passionate when it came to his boys. He ain't somebody that just jumped on the bandwagon and just because it's a trending topic to hate on the Cowboys. Your network has done that. Stephen A. Smith has become a walking prop for hating on the Dallas Cowboys. Shannon Sharp and at Fox, they doing the same thing because Shannon really, he disliked the Cowboys anyway because he played for the Broncos. But that's just a whole nother story altogether. But he understands football, so it coincides with each other. Nobody here understands football but Michael Irvin. So he's the only one on this show as he's going in there fighting for his Cowboys. Now, this was funny, doing the pinky scene, talking about the Cowboys. But this is what I'm saying. This is your guy, your show. Look what he does for the show. This is what we're talking about. Jalen Rose, you being a hypocrite. I'm so glad I didn't make a career of content pretending to fake troll the Cowboys. Wow. Preying on the audience being dumb, lazy, and low-hanging fruit. So glad I didn't make a career. Right. And everybody's like, please, Jalen, this is so out of bounds. So everybody's going to say you calling out Stephen A. Smith. Because he's the guy that's making a career out of pretending to fake troll the Cowboys. That's what he does. Skip is known for it. So why are you playing this game? Why would you even say that for, Chief? And it's weird to me that all of these ESPN guys are taking shots at Fox guys who are never mentioning ESPN guys. It's very interesting, isn't it? So when you look at the bigger picture, you start to see what? Maybe, just maybe, somebody's not doing so well on the other side of the glass. These images were hurting to Jalen Rose because it wasn't the reason they broke up. Stephen A had nothing to do with it, but he wasn't doing anything to diffuse it either. He was kind of letting it go on when he should have just shut that down ASAP, and they kind of just let it ride. But dog, you can't say I was talking about Skip Bayless. Why? Skip been doing his thing from the jump. So who you talking about? You see? See how Stephen A is smiling and laughing and chuckling it up? Do you know why he doing that? Because he can. He's made a living off of doing this, Jalen. That when the Cowboys lose, people want to go hear and see what Stephen A got to say. Because he used to battle Skip doing it. And when they built up First Take, this is what they was building it off of. They even selling shirts. How about them Cowboys with Stephen A face on them? So the person who built themselves up off hating on the Cowboys and using the Cowboys, trolling them, is Stephen A. So if you ain't got the balls to say you talking about Stephen A, just say it's Stephen A who you talking to. And y'all really ain't vibing like that no more. Be real or don't. It is what it is. But don't try to throw Skip in there. Skip ain't got nothing to do with it. Now you resorted to arguing on social media. This isn't true. Never was, Mark. You see? Unbelievable. So let that sink in, people. When you look at what Jalen Rose was doing and how he was doing it, how he was moving out here in these streets reckless. And don't forget to hit the like button too. I don't know how they're going to send this to you or how they're going to distribute it, but definitely hit the like button up. Support the channel. Jalen, man, he put himself in a bad spot. He really did. By opening his mouth, because now he's created a trending situation in which he got to go and explain. There was no need for him to even make that statement. But he chose to do so just to be doing so. And made it a problem. No, I don't want what I don't want. is for people to not understand where it is that we reside. You know? People don't get it, and they should get it. But they just don't. They don't really register in their own brains. So, Jalen Rose is a great human being. Nothing about Jalen is bad at what he does. It's just that if you want to draw attention to yourself, you point out things about yourself. If you don't like certain things and you want to point out about it, just say, hey, I don't do that stuff. But how you going to do that and say that when your side is doing it more than anybody? It's crazy, Jalen. It's crazy. And you sitting up here arguing with people on social media, blocking people, you mad at the responses you getting. You should have never opened your mouth for, Chief. What you said for then, Chief? You ain't have to say nothing. You chose to do that. You wanted to be heard. That's what they do. They want to be heard so bad. So when you want to be heard so bad, this is the narrative you choose and go by. They don't know any better. Why would anybody say anything indifferent? Jalen Rose has been doing Jalen Rose for so long. There's nothing else anybody's gonna say about it. Like, he's been in a situation where he's been made fun of because of the Kobe thing, and he don't like to be laughed at. But when you make yourself noticeable by doing these things and you become famous because of it or popularized, you put yourself in a situation where people look at you and think you're a hater now. So now you're no longer the great analyst. Now you looked at as a hater. You're not looked at or respected for your what you were trying to get and being established to your credibility, which to me he's very credible. He's played the game in the NBA. He knows how the structures work. He's got a great job on ESPN. He's getting a great salary, got a good raise, more responsibility. But, you got to kind of watch how you talk about people and who you talking about. Because those same people could be involved in something you trying to do down the road. Like you want to go and move ship and go to another network, and the same person you talking about might have some influence at that network just to screw you up out of it. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be kind of careful dealing with that. And Jalen should be smart enough to know that by now, that comment does not hurt Skip Bayless one bit. You ain't going to cause Skip to lose a wink of sleep. So it's unnecessary. Completely unnecessary. So when the Cowboys lose, does anybody really think of Shannon Sharp? No. They think of Stephen A. Nobody has trolled the Dallas Cowboys as much as Stephen A, being the sidekick of Skip. He can't even explain why he don't like the Cowboys. He just know they're gonna lose. And he just goes on from there. But this is what I mean about the glass house mentality. And I guess he just like, oh, everybody figured out who I was talking about was Stephen A. And now that looks bad on him because he's for the network. Now he wants to try to pivot and say, oh no, I'm talking about the guy who averaged 1.4 in a game when he played in college. I'm talking about Skip. Why are you bringing up, oh, you weren't talking about Stephen A? So now, if you're talking about Skip, it looks even worse. People, my Cash App is Carcino, Karceno. If you want to donate to the page, the Patreon is Carcino for life. If you're VIP, you don't want to miss anything tonight. So I would advise getting in VIP because it's going to be crazy. If you've been on the Patreon, you already know what's coming. So I ain't no need to talk no more. Anyway, God bless all of you. I'm out.